But as I recall, when he got there, he was in a wheelchair and really wasn't talking a lot and things like that, and having a pretty rough time. And then so after getting medical clearance for him to actually fly down there, and Mel flew him down there privately, then we did some IVs on him first in the clinic, and then to do the hip, we need to do that.
When you said did some IVs, what do you mean?
So we give the umbilical cord. These are isolated from basically the meat of the umbilical cord. They're isolated and they're grown in our laboratory, which is ISO 9001 and very high quality and certified by the Ministry of Health. They're grown in the laboratory and they're certified to be free of everything, any kind of infectious disease. And
I went into the clean rooms and they make you put on like hats and gloves, and you feel like all Frankensteined out, and you walk into these cold rooms and you're watching cells divide under the microscope. It's kind of miraculous, really, to look at this stuff.
So intravenous stem cells.
Right, intravenous, that's correct.
And what's the benefit of intravenous stem cells? Like, what does that do?
Well, the good thing is that this kind of stem cell, the mesenchymal stem cell, they're found throughout your body, and normally what they do is they modulate your immune system, they decrease inflammation, and they stimulate regeneration. So, and the good thing about them is they tend to home to areas where there is inflammation. So intravenously, they do a lot of things, but they can home to areas of inflammation, and they really reduce inflammation in the body because they upregulate part of your immune system that controls the inflammatory process, which I can talk more about later. But in his case, his kidneys were in trouble, his heart was in trouble, and the cells, they don't, unlike what we used to think in the early days, they don't become anything. This kind of stem cell does not become anything in your body, but it homes to areas that need repair, and it secretes things that stimulates the repair and decreases the inflammation and helps out with the immune system. So the vast majority of what we treat are autoimmune diseases. And in Hutt's case, we gave him IVs so that he could basically have these things on board secreting the cytokines and the growth factors that are normally secreted. And when you're 92 and you have multi-organ failure, you're basically running on fumes. And so you put these day zero young healthy cells, and they secrete these things that kind of restarts everything.
Yeah.
And so what was his response to this IV treatment?
Wow. I can wax lyrical about that. He's almost 100 years old. And from pretty bad shape, it was like bee stings. It was like he got a new lease of life.